Hello, sir. I have a special delivery for you. I didn't order anything. If you could just confirm your name for me, sir, I assure you this process will be very speedy. Fantastic, Mr. Now, if you could please sign here, here, and here, the package is all yours, sir. Marvellous, sir. Here is your box. Now, whatever you do, the box must never be opened. Why not? I do not know, sir. Why, I'm just your simple, ordinary delivery man, and the instructions that came with the box said do not open. Ever. Well, do you know who sent it? No, I'm afraid I do not, sir. I have no idea who sent it nor what's inside, but the message clearly says, do not open. I'd probably open it, but I am your ordinary, very average, nosy delivery man, so don't let me sway your decision, sir. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You open the box and there's nothing inside? Or maybe you unleash every known plague and evil upon mankind, bringing it to the brink of destruction and causing an eternity of suffering for countless generations that follow. Meh, it's probably just a pair of keys. Or maybe it's filled with jewellery. Or better yet, chocolate. I've heard humans do love that. What are you talking about? Anyway, I must be leaving you now, sir. There are far more packages and messages to deliver, and there's a reason that I've won Best Delivery Man 2,467 times in a row. But before I go, I believe I was supposed to warn you about a cat named Curiosity, history repeating itself, and some kind of panda. I don't really remember, but hopefully that helps you, sir. I wish you the best of luck, sir. Hopefully your fate is not as bad as the last one. What was that? I said have a wonderful day, because it may be your last. So, would you open the box if the choice was yours? Pandora's Box is a video that I covered quite a while back when the channel was still fairly new. And it's one of those videos that I wasn't entirely happy with because I missed some talking points and I definitely could have made it more interesting, which is why we're covering it again today. At this point, I'd like to think that most of us are at least familiar with the name Pandora, the first human woman who opened the said box and cursed humanity forever. Sounds dramatic, I know, and that's because it is, and I'd expect nothing else from Greek mythology if I'm being honest. For those unfamiliar with the story, there's no need to worry because we will recap it once more before discussing any further. Now, before the YouTube historical and mythological Nobel Prize winning experts come out the woodwork to tell me, "It was not a box, you buffoon. It was a pitos jar, you stupid man." That is true. Pandora's box did start off as a jar, a pithos jar to be precise. But over the years, due to the many different versions of the story, somewhere along the line it got lost in translation and became a box, which in a more modern context is certainly more alluring than a jar. No, that is a lie. I want to know what was in the jar. No one cares what was in the jar, because boxes are just better. End of discussion. Anyway, the story begins with pretty much everybody's favourite god Zeus, and the two Titan brothers Prometheus and Epimetheus. Prometheus who created man, and Epimetheus who created the animals and gave them all of their positive traits. But when it was man's turn, Epimetheus had run out of traits to give. Zeus, not being the biggest fan of Prometheus' creation, was intrigued to see how mankind would survive, or more so excited at the prospect of their inevitable demise. Prometheus, however, was not ready to watch his creation suffer, and so he stole fire from Olympus and gave it to man, who would use it to thrive. To Zeus, this was not only cheating, but a challenge, and so rather than simply just taking fire away, he hatched an elaborate plan of revenge against Prometheus and his creation. Similar to how Prometheus created man from clay, Zeus would order Hephaestus to mold Pandora, the first woman. To really bring Pandora to life and to build somewhat of a personality, each of the gods and goddesses bestowed a gift upon her. From Athena she was given the gift of craftsmanship, needlework, and weaving. From Aphrodite she was given beauty and the ability to feel all range of emotion. And from Hermes she was given craftiness and guile, and he would also name her Pandora. It then fell to Zeus to give her final two gifts: curiosity and a mysterious box that she was told never to open. And once she was ready, Zeus would send for Hermes to deliver Pandora to Epimetheus as his bride-to-be. Despite Prometheus warning his brother to never accept a gift from Zeus, Epimetheus ignored his brother and married Pandora anyway. What then followed the marriage is what we can only assume as a period of calm, as Zeus's plan of revenge was long-term. As each day passed, Pandora grew more and more curious as to what was inside the box, until she could wait no longer. And on that very day she gave into the curiosity that Zeus had given her and opened the box. Inside of the box, Zeus had placed every known evil, and Pandora had just unleashed greed, suffering, illness, and hardship upon humanity. Prometheus's creation of man would be brought to the brink of destruction. Pandora, who felt an immense guilt for what she had done, opened the box one last time, in the hope that there was something good inside. And there was one last thing inside: hope. It was this hope that gave humanity the strength to endure their hardships and continue surviving. Now, there are some elements to this story that I noticed in the previous video that some people missed or failed to understand. I think the most common being Zeus's intent. The comment I saw very often was along the lines of, why would Zeus give Pandora a box that she was never allowed to open? Why would he give her curiosity and then a mysterious box? Zeus may have told Pandora to never open the box, but make no mistake, he always intended and planned for the box to be opened. If you tell a child, or even an adult in most cases, not to do something without then explaining why they shouldn't, most of the time they will give in to their curiosity and they will do that very thing you told them not to. When Prometheus stole the fire from Olympus, Zeus could have easily destroyed him and his creation right there and then. Instead, Zeus wanted some kind of revenge. The kind of revenge that he found amusing. The kind that was filled with irony, and so he played the long game. He had something created which, in this case, was a woman, the counterpart to Prometheus's creation, and it would be this creation that he intended to destroy mankind, or at least cause a great amount of suffering. So to answer the question, why would Zeus give Pandora a box and tell her not to open it? Because I guess he felt like it would be a fun way to watch humanity suffer and to teach Prometheus a lesson, even though he would be punished again later. The next question I wanted to answer was, why would Zeus place hope in the box if he just wanted to destroy humanity anyway? This hope can be seen as a good thing, but it's much more likely that it was intended as false hope. The constant belief that despite all this suffering, one day things will get better, when in reality he never intended them to. You can also argue that Zeus never wanted to entirely destroy humanity, and so hope was him being merciful. And there are several poets who interpret the story in this way, but given the fact that everything inside the box was evil, and the box itself was meant for revenge, it certainly feels like Zeus had the last laugh. The story of Pandora's box has been covered by almost every poet of note throughout the years. Theognis of Megara and the author Babrius tell of a rather different story, where the jar was filled with blessings as opposed to evil. This jar, however, would not be opened by Pandora. Instead, it was an unnamed man who would open the jar out of curiosity, releasing all of the blessings which would then be lost to humanity. This version of the story also heavily influenced Aesop's fables, where Zeus is described as gathering all of the good things and placing them in a jar. When humanity then opened the jar, all of the good things flew back up to the heavens, and only one thing remained: hope. promising that one day it will bestow upon us everything that had been lost. One of the reasons that Aesop gives in terms of why bad things happen to us is because they are all around us, whereas the good things must descend from heaven, and that is why they are much more rare. As well as an unnamed man, it was also believed the jar may have been opened by Pandora's husband. So there are several versions of the story where the blame isn't placed on Pandora. Some of you may have also noticed the similarities with the biblical story of Adam and Eve. The individuals involved may differ, but there is the recurring theme of curiosity being humanity's downfall, as well as the inability to follow a basic command without it being explained. Hopefully this video has been a more comprehensive breakdown of the story than the previous video, and hopefully any unanswered and lingering questions now have been answered. If they still haven't, or you'd just like to share your thoughts with me, then please do so in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Mythology and Fiction Explained.
Stop calling it a box, you stupid man! Stop calling it a box, you stupid man! Stop calling it a box, you stupid buffoon!